When we talk about NBA superstars, names like Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or even Jason Tatum immediately come to mind. However, there's one player who, despite his impressive stats and impact on the court, doesn't get the same media recognition. Trae Young, the star point guard of the Atlanta Hawks. Recently, in an interview with Clutch Points, Trae opened up about this topic that has followed him since he entered the league. With surprising maturity, he said, "I think that's why I'm not that loud when it comes to promoting myself or anything like that. I prefer to let my game speak for me, and let everyone else talk for me. So it doesn't matter if I get the credit or not. I prefer to live this way, and hopefully things will change." With these words, Young made it clear that he's not interested in self-promotion like some other players. He prefers to stay true to his style and trust that, sooner or later, the NBA and fans will recognize everything he brings to the floor. This is where the controversy begins. Many experts argue that it's not just a matter of marketing or a quiet personality. Hispano's NBA points out that Trae Young has, to some extent, earned a villain label in the league, and it's true. His challenging style, his way of celebrating key baskets, and above all, his role as a nemesis for the New York Knicks in the playoffs, have made him a polarizing figure. Some see him as a fearless hero, while others view him as an arrogant player seeking attention with provocative attitudes. That contrast has meant that despite his numbers, he isn't as beloved as other stars. But beyond perceptions, the stats speak for themselves. Since entering the NBA, Trae Young has been the face of the Atlanta Hawks, and he has done it with consistent performance. All-rookie team in his first year, 4 times All-Star, 1 times All-NBA team selection, top 20 in scoring for the last 5 seasons, led the league in assists in 4 of the last 5 seasons, number 1 in assists per game last season, positive real plus-minus every season except his rookie year. If we look at his evolution, in 2022 he changed his offensive approach, shifting from being a pure scorer to a more complete playmaker. Since then, he has balanced his role as a scorer with that of a facilitator, elevating his teammates and becoming one of the best passers in the league. Of course, nobody is perfect. In Trae Young's case, his stats also reveal some weaknesses. The first is his three-point efficiency. While he has always shot a high volume of threes, he has never surpassed 39% accuracy in a season. This has affected both his three-point percentage and his true shooting, which isn't among the league's best. The second aspect that has penalized him is his defense. Trae Young has a limited physical profile for defense, and at times he seems uncommitted in that area. This not only affects his reputation, but also his team, especially in seasons when Atlanta lacked strong defenders to cover these gaps. In fact, his -6.0 differential net rating makes it clear that either his defense doesn't contribute, or his offense isn't enough to compensate for it. Trae Young's case sparks an interesting debate. What matters more in the NBA, stats or public perception? Because if we only look at the numbers, there's no doubt he should be in the same group as other established point guards. However, his villain image and defensive limitations have put a ceiling on his recognition. Perhaps what he needs is a season where everything comes together: elite stats, strong team performance from the Hawks, and a leadership narrative that shows him not only as a brilliant scorer and passer, but also as someone who can take his team to the next level. In the meantime, Trae Young will continue being true to himself, letting his game speak on the court, even if the NBA hasn't yet given him the place that for many he has already earned.